Who's the interim coach? Does it say?
Doesn't say yet.
Probably Ursay, since he changes everything else. Man,
That's your boy, Joe.
that's a rough one. I'm looking at his record right now. He started out this is his 5th year. He's 40, 33, and 1. They've been to the playoffs 3 times. They went to the playoffs 3 times in his first 4 years. That's a rough one, don't you think?
They've gone through a variety of quarterbacks.
And I think is that his situation? I know he wanted Carson Wentz probably because he had a relationship with him in Philly, but once Andrew Luck left, they've been just searching.
That was a
and
franchise
searching
changer, wasn't it?
Yep.
When he quit.
Man, I'll say they brought in Phil Rivers, and he did great for them. They had Buffalo beaten in Buffalo in a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost that game, and then they made the playoffs last year, right?
No, they lost.
They lost.
The Jaguars.
That's
Remember
right.
that last game?
That was the one that started everything.
That was a killer for him.
Yes.
You know, you lose to Jacksonville that Chelsea Messenger said had no chance of winning. Right? I might bring that up one more time.
You should bring that up one more time.
How about
my mistake?
That was really the start of the decline for him.
Yeah, it was. My mistake, they only made it 2 out of 4 years, and now it would be 2 out of 5. So, his playoff record is 1-2 over that time. One playoff win in 4.5 years.
Involved in one of the great comebacks of all time, though, wasn't he?
2 of the great comebacks of all time.
2?
He had the greatest college comeback and the greatest pro comeback.
For your Buffalo Bills.
35-3 early in the third quarter.
I remember that. That's incredible.
Against the Houston Oilers.
The Oilers.
Houston Oilers.
So,
Houston Oilers.
Love you, Blue.
May I interest you, any of you, in a new mentor for Mr. Kenny Pickett as the offensive coordinator next year? Dr. Franklin Reich.
If I'm going head coaches that are out of a job, and I prefer Sean Payton, but he's not going to want that job. He's going to want a head coach.
Sean Payton can pick his next head coaching job.
Right.
Frank Reich, I don't know.
I'm just saying, I don't know if I'm going to go to a guy who's right now overseeing the worst offense, point-wise, I think, worse than the Steelers so far through 8 games.
They're worse than the Steelers?
Yeah, they did fall behind the Steelers.
They
I
did?
saw that.
Yeah.
What? Wow.
They're under 15 points per game.
Yeah, Steelers are 15.
Holy horse oil.
I don't want Frank Reich either.
No?
No. What's he done with his quarterbacks recently there?
Has he
those
had
are
good
all
ones? Has he had
established.
good ones?
Well, I mean, you got to get something out of what you got. I'm not impressed. Again, I'm one of these people that I want the next rising star, the next young guy that's coming up.
Matt Canada?
Yeah, a Sirianni type, or one of those Shanahan, one of those younger guys on the way up.
I want a guy who's been around a little bit. I mean, what quarterbacks have they given him? Phil Rivers at the end of his career.
Carson Wentz.
And Matt Ryan at the end of his career. You know?
Well, I mean, either this is Irsay demanding it, or, their GM, they're trying to make it look like they're the problem and not his assembling a roster. Their roster's not very good.
Well, their GM hasn't done a good job.
Was that Chris? Is it Chris something or other?
Yeah, what's his
Ballard.
Ballard, that's right. Yeah.
How about their last 3 Mondays? They benched Matt Ryan for Sam Ehlinger. Then last Monday, they fired their OC, Marcus Brady.
Sam Ehlinger.
And
oh,
now
my God.
They fired Frank Reich.
Let's take a closer look at this. Frank Reich's first year was 18, and they finished 5th in the league in scoring at 27 points a game. And that was with Andrew Luck. Boy, it's amazing how it works.
Isn't it?
When you have a quarterback, you have an offense.
Isn't that amazing? Yes, it is.
39 touchdowns and 15 picks. That guy was still great. So they finish 5th in the league. Of course, they'd finished 30th in the league with Pagano the year before. And I think that that was the year Luck was hurt.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Luck was out.
So Luck comes back. Then Luck retires at the last second in 19.
That was right in training camp, wasn't it?
Screwing over Frank Reich. And they stink. They have Jacoby Brissett, for God's sakes. Then he has a top 10 offense at 28 points a game with end-stage Phil Rivers. And then he's another top 10 offense last year with Carson Wentz. I don't know. I'd take this guy. He got there because of what he did in Philly anyway as an offensive coordinator. which was win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles and turn Carson Wentz into an MVP candidate.
And I'm not saying he wouldn't be a step up. I'm just saying I would go in. I would look around. For a lot of different things.
I would definitely look around, but would he be on my
I
radar?
I say I
Absolutely.
want a young and up and coming guy. I do, but I mentioned last week Bruce Arians.
Mhm.
He wouldn't want that job either.
I don't
But
think they'd
what
bring
he
him
has
back.
done with quarterbacks in his career.
Who knows if they'd want him back?
Oh, I think they might want him back more than he'd want to come back. Put it
Maybe.
that way.
Yeah, maybe.